Welcome to the most passionate content for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the whole entire internet. As usual, I am your host, Jake Roy, 90s BBall cards here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I slacked this last few weeks on TikTok, but a little bit of TikTok sometimes, we'll see. I think I've got some ideas, at least. So some content will definitely be coming on TikTok, and we'll see if we can get that onto Instagram and other platforms as well. So anyway, enough to do about that. I'm excited for the NBA playoffs, and I thought it would be fun to do a video specifically just for the NBA playoffs, really digging into some of my cards outside of the 90s, so some more modern cards that are in my collection. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Before we jump into the cards, so a little bit of backstory into the video. So I have a little secret to share with you. I was really close to not having a video at all this week. So a big shout out and a thank you. I was chatting with a couple of good hobby friends. Chris House of Jordans, you might know him from Card Ladder, the old House of Jordans podcast, and a lot of other podcasts that he's been a guest on. And Kyle from Wax Museum. We were all chatting, and they helped me brainstorm this video. So it's really a credit to those two guys that there is this video this week. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at the top 10 cards in my collection of players that are in the playoffs that are looking to win a championship. So what we did when we were talking through this is we formulated an idea of taking the Vegas odds for the top 5 teams that are most likely, per the betting odds, to win the championship this year. And I went through my collection and I pulled the best cards, and in some cases my favorite cards, so it's not just a complete LeBron James video, of those. So only one card per player, and where I had multiple cards of players, I would look and see which one was my favorite. In a lot of cases there was only one or two to pick from, so a lot of times you just get the best one that I have in my collection. So some fun things that I do not believe you have seen before in my collection. Some of them might surprise you. We'll talk about them a little bit, but a really fun video. Like I said, one card of each player, and we went through the top 5 teams. So we're looking at the Sixers, the Bucks, the Jazz, the Lakers, and what is the 5th one? I can't remember off the top of my head. The Nets, of course, the Nets. So those are the 5 teams that we were looking at. You can probably guess some of the star players, but we'll also get some bonus players in there as well. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so here we go. Let's jump in, starting with number 10, and the players aren't in any specific order. We looked at these based on value, so the most valuable card will be the top one. So this is not saying how good the players are, but you can probably guess some of the players before we get into it. First one, we have number 10. So this is a 2019-2020 Prism Dominance insert of Joel Embiid. So really nothing special here. The insert cards from Prism, as you may know, don't really demand a whole lot of value unless it's one of the couple of top players and it's a silver or a low numbered color variant. So these base ones, you know, this is probably a $1 to $2 or maybe a $3 or $4 card, you know, somewhere below the $5 mark for sure. But you know, a fun one that I pulled back when we had that video, actually a couple of videos of me busting through 1920 Prism retail products. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It was right around Christmas when these products came out, and today these the blasters that I was ripping open are worth a considerable amount more. I actually got some of them as a giveaway, so those would have been good to sit on. But hindsight's 2020, and we did have some fun, so check that video out if you haven't seen it yet. That one's number 10. Number 9. Staying with the Sixers, so here we've got a 2017-2018 Donruss Optic Court Kings. So you may know I am a pretty big fan of Optic, or at least I have been in years past. And I got a few different retail products when I could find them. And one of the reasons why I like this Court Kings over some of the others that I have is 2017, as you may recall, was really Ben Simmons' rookie season. You know, he didn't play his first year, 2016, because of injury. So this was the first year that he really played. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, a lot of these cards are kind of like his rookie year of playing, but obviously they don't hold the value of a rookie card. So that's why I enjoy this card, because it kind of reminds me of that little bit of history of Ben Simmons and his start in the NBA. So this one, similar to the Joel Embiid, not worth a whole ton. Ben Simmons' career has not been as great as it was hoped, but we'll see. Maybe maybe he can have a resurgence if he can get a jump shot working. But this one's about $1 to $4 as well, so just under the $5 mark typically for this one. Number 8. So here we go. Might be surprised to see this one higher than those guys, but so we've got a 2019 Hoops Premium stock, and this is the laser of Rudy Gobert. And this was one, again, right around Christmas time of this last year. You may remember I went on the Instagram Live, and I also shared it on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out on YouTube. But I did a live break of some gifts that I got from Santa, which were Hoops Premium hanger packs. Some great pulls in there, and this was one of those in the special laser packs of Rudy Gobert, one of the best, if not the best defensive player in the league right now. So he's flying high with the Jazz. And, this one is similar in value to the last two, but this one gets closer to the $5 mark typically. And these are really cool. I really like that laser. It brings me back to the 92-93 Bean team and the hollow foil that they have on the side. This is really the same type of pattern that they had there, just on a chromium card. So cool stuff here with those lasers. Next one we have. So this one is, as you can tell, one of my Giannis cards, but I do not have many Giannis cards. In fact, I sold the one rookie card that I had of his a little bit too early. So no big Giannis cards, but this is a 2017-2018 Donruss Optic Blue Velocity. So the cool thing here is you can see that's the same pattern as that laser that we just had of Rudy Gobert, but they were called Blue Velocity for Optic. And I really like this. This is the second season, I'm sorry, of Optic. So it was one of those products that I tried out in the first season, and I got a few that weren't great pulls, but it was a lot of fun. So the next year when I was going through Target, I had to pick some more Optic up because I just fell in love with this design. I like this design even more than the first year, but obviously the first year holds a little special spot for a lot of collectors. So this one, I can't believe I got through all that and didn't talk about value. This one's about $10 to $15. Obviously centering and condition are something that can make these go a little bit more, but nothing crazy in terms of Giannis cards in my collection. So this is one of my favorites. All right, next one we have here, stepping it up a little bit, just a little bit. So we've got 2012. This is Panini Past and Present Rise and Shine Rookie Insert Card of Anthony Davis. Really a fun picture there of him, really getting excited. And this is one of those cards that I actually had forgotten I had pulled way back in the day, just a random pack I had gotten. And I stumbled upon this and was really excited to see that I had, obviously a rookie insert is not the same as a rookie card, a true rookie, but always fun to have something from a player's rookie season. Obviously, it would be nice to have some Prism or something like that, but, we take what we can get. So this one also doesn't hold a ton of value because it's not a great product also, and a rookie year insert, but $10 to $15 similar to the Giannis, and the way the AD's been playing, when he's healthy, who knows what's going to happen with his career, but he could be a very great all-time player, so it'll be fun to see him in the Lakers this year. Next one we have up here, so a player that's drawn a lot of controversy recently, but we've got a 2012-2013 Panini of Kyrie Irving. So this is just a regular Panini, and this is a rookie card of Kyrie. So the first year he was there in Cleveland. Fun card that I picked up relatively recently. A card shop had it for $5, and I figured that was a deal that I couldn't pass up. It's not worth too much more than that, but it definitely is worth a little bit more. So anytime you can find arbitrage in today's market, it is always a fun thing to jump in on. So this one's about a $15 card. Conditions definitely factor on these, not only the centering, but because most of these had colored borders and usually pretty dark colors. it's really easy to see any edge wear. So that's one thing to be mindful of when you're looking at these. And there is a second Kyrie Irving in this set, so that kind of dilutes the value of Kyrie's card a little bit. So there's one like this, and then there's another one where it's a little bit more of a full-length picture of him. Not sure the story behind why they have two Kyries in the set, but it is what it is for the #1 pick that season. All right, next one we have here. This is a 2009 Panini, so same type of set, but a few years earlier, of James Harden. So this is a rookie card, very clearly denotes rookie there. And I've got a couple of James Harden rookies, but I pulled this one out, this one being my favorite because of that picture. Just a great picture. You know I love rookie photo shoot pictures, so this really brings me back to the 90s, some of those 96 Collector's Choice sets and some other stuff. Obviously, just an opportunity for the players to ball out and throw down some fancy dunks or pull some moves that make for really good photos, and also fun to look at young pictures of James Harden when he had still had a beard, but much smaller beard. So this is one that I actually might get graded. We'll see what I choose to do with it. I got to take a closer look at the condition, but that's why it's in a card saver, because it's a grading candidate, as some would say. So this one definitely is a step up for value at about $60. Yeah, and again, condition is always a key for the value on these, so they can fluctuate a bit. Keeping with the rookies, another one here, Kevin Durant. This is 2007-2008 SP Rookie Edition. So a set all about the rookies, a really cool set that I really enjoyed. My brother and I got a few boxes of this. My brother's a bigger fan, so he got more boxes than I did. But really one of those sets that we were chasing, trying to get all the rookies. And this is the base set design. The other cool thing that they did in this year is they went after some of the 90s rookie set designs for SP, and they had different variants of varying scarcity of all the rookies, and then they got to some that they also threw some veterans in. So really cool stuff, but this one being the base one is a little bit more sought after than some of the other more common variants, if you will. Just one that I really like, a lot of memories, and also seeing him in that Sonics uniform, the yellow one, not the best looking, but definitely a retro look there for the Sonics uniform. So the Durant here is about a $70 card. Kevin Durant cards have had a lot of fluctuation this year, so we'll see what happens in the future with this one, but one that I'll probably be holding on to for a long time. Next one I don't actually have in my possession, but we'll talk about why, and I have a placeholder. So we have here a 2017-2018 Donruss Optic rookie of Donovan Mitchell, and the one that I'm talking about is the hollow. And the reason I don't have it in my possession is it's not back from PSA yet. So that one's off getting graded. Here I have the red and yellow, and both were actually pulled out of the same exact mega box. I think it was a mega box. It might have been a blaster box. But anyway, I found one of those. It was just before wax prices really shot up. So I grabbed that, and obviously the best pull was the hollow. And I couldn't have been more excited, because really the best player to pull is Donovan Mitchell. Jason Tatum gets some love too, but Donovan Mitchell's really the guy to get. So getting a hollow of him, and it looks like it's in good shape. So we'll see what PSA thinks about it. It should be back very soon. But we'll talk about that when that comes in. So the hollow is right now raw worth about $80, give or take. So once it comes back and it's graded, we'll know a little bit more about the value of that. So that one's number 2. Before we get to the number 1, here are some honorable mentions. These are some other players that are on some of the teams that are in those top 5 that didn't quite make the cut. So let's take a quick look at those before we get into the number 1. All right, number one, you can probably guess the player, but this is my favorite card of him that I have. You know, there's a lot that I like for a lot of different reasons, but here we go. So this is the LeBron James that we had to have on this list, of course. So this is a 2008 Upper Deck MVP gold signature numbered to 100. So one of the last years that they did Upper Deck MVP. And actually, this was one that I pulled out of a pack from Target way back. This is kind of like a hodgepodge of some various packs and some singles. You know, kind of think of Fairfield type of, and I don't know if it was Fairfield that made these back when I was getting them. But I did very well that summer with Target packs. So I got a few different LeBron inserts and different stuff. But this was definitely my favorite because I almost missed it. You know, that serial numbering right there under the Upper Deck logo can almost go undetected. You know, so at first I saw it and I saw the gold signature and I saw the gold border, but I didn't think anything of it. It's not uncommon to see cards that they just have a facsimile autograph on. But then I remember this is MVP. And MVP, the one thing they're known for are silver signatures, gold signatures, and sometimes superscripts that are super low numbered. So I took a second look and I saw that it was numbered to 100 and I got very excited. You know, this being the team MVP subset, not as valuable as it could be, but it's only numbered to 100. These do not come up for sale very often. You know, and in fact, about 3 years ago, I was offering this for sale for $30, if you can believe it or not. No takers at that price. The closest thing that I could find for a recent comp in the last couple of months was a Kobe Bryant, also the team MVP subset. And that one sold for about $70 or so. So, you know, putting a value on this LeBron is pretty hard to do. I would guesstimate it's between $70 and $100. You know, but that's really a guesstimate. One of those cards that was a great pull, fond memory, and something that you know, I'm probably going to hold on to after you know, people passed up on that opportunity for $30 back in the day. Something that I think was a dodged bullet for me. Would have been something I might have regretted selling. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the future, but this is a cool one. Like I said, you know, I'd value it around $100, but hard to say. So that's the number one card in the list. Thank you again, Chris and Kyle. A lot of fun putting this together and kind of thinking through this with you guys. So again, a big thank you for helping me out with some ideas on this. And really, one of the reasons why that I didn't have something planned is I'm kind of in between. I've got a few packs that I'm working on, trying to get those videos ready. I got a few interviews that I'm working on, trying to get those ready. I got a few other top tens. You know, so there are a few things that are close to being ready for the next couple of weeks, but not quite there. So this was a fun thing to do in an opportune time. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, none of the teams are eliminated, but it looks like all these teams are pretty sure they're going to advance. I think the Lakers-Suns matchup is a pretty tough one. I've been really enjoying those, and I really like that Suns team. I've got some fun Devin Booker cards that I was bummed I couldn't get into the list because, you know, Vegas odds is what we're going with. So, you know, those might be in a future video in future years. I've got a few fun Devin Booker cards and some fun stories with those. So, you know, stay tuned for those, or maybe I'll share them at some point. But anyway, I like that series, and it's been fun to watch, and we'll see how that series goes. But along those same lines, question of the day is, who is your pick to win the NBA championship this year? And if you want, pick somebody from the East and the West and let me know who you're going to think is going to be the pick for that finals matchup to win. I think the favorites right now, if I'm remembering correctly, are the Nets, and I believe it's the Lakers, even though that seems to be quite a battle. I think that the Suns were a team that probably were pretty close to making that top five. But I'm not sure. I'm not as well versed in the Vegas odds, as you know, with me almost forgetting the Nets altogether in the top five. So, you know, some fun cards here. Again, these were some of my favorite cards, not necessarily my most valuable cards, because I didn't want this video to just be a LeBron James top 10, which we've done in the past, and I'm sure we'll revise as we go forward in the future. But let me know what you thought about this. Let me know some of your favorite cards of some of these playoff players as well, and some of those bonus players that we popped in there. Some fun stories could have gone along with those, but I wanted to keep this just the top 10. That's what we like to do. Keep it concise, right? So let me know what your thoughts are about this and doing more videos like this. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. New content like this, pack openings, top 10s, collector interviews, and so much more. Always dropping on Wednesdays. Any bonus content will drop on Fridays. Thanks. We'll talk later.